Let nothing which befalls thee from without distract thee, and take leisure to thyself to learn something truly good. Wander no more to and fro, and guard also against this other wandering. For there are some too who trifle away their activity by wearing themselves in life, without having a settled scope or mark, to which they may direct all their desires and all their projects. Seldom are any found unhappy for not observing the motions and intentions in the souls of others. But such as observe not well the motions of their own souls, or their affections, must necessarily be unhappy. Nothing is more miserable, says one, than one who ranges over all things, and dives into the things below the earth, and strives by conjectures to discover what is in the souls of others around him, and yet is not sensible of this, that it is sufficient for a man to dwell and converse with that divinity which is within him, and pay it the genuine worship. It is then worshipped and honored when it is kept pure from every passion and folly, and from repining at anything done by gods or men. Whatever is done by the gods is venerable for its excellence. What flows from men we should entertain with love, since they are our kinsmen, or sometimes with pity, as proceeding from their ignorance of good and evil. They are not less pitiable maimed by this defect, this blindness, than by that which hinders them to distinguish between black and white. Spend not the remainder of your life in conjectures about others, except where it is subservient to some public interest, conjecturing what such a one is doing, and with what view, what he is saying, what he is thinking, what he is projecting, and such like. This attention to the affairs of others makes one wander from his own business, the guarding of his own soul. We ought, therefore, to exclude from the series of our thought whatever is superfluous or vain, and much more everything intermeddling and ill-natured, and inure ourselves to think on such things as if we were of a sudden examine what are we now musing upon, we could freely answer such or such matters, so that all within might appear simple and good-natured, such as becomes a social being, who despises pleasure and all sensual enjoyment, and is free from emulation, envy, suspicion, or any other passion that would blush to our own what we are now indulging in our minds. A man thus disposed wants nothing to entitle him to the highest dignity of a priest and a fellow worker with the gods, who rightly employs the divinity within him, which can make the man undefiled by pleasure, invisible by pain, inaccessible to reproach or any injuries from others, a victorious champion in the noblest contention, that against the passions, deeply tinctured with justice, embracing with all his heart whatever befalls, or is appointed by providence, seldom solicitous, and that not without some generous public view, what another says, does, or intends, solely intent on his own conduct, and thinking continuously in what is appointed to him by the governor of the universe, making his own conduct beautiful and honorable, and persuaded to what providence orders is good. For each one's lot is brought upon him by providence, and it is advantageous to him. Remember that whatever is rational is akin to thee, and that it suits human nature to take care of everything human. Nor ought we to desire glory from all, but only from those who live agreeably to nature. For others still remember how they live at home, how abroad, how in the dark, how in the light, and how with what a wretched mass they are blended. Thus, one won't value the praise of such men, for they cannot please or applaud themselves. Do nothing with reluctance or forgetting the kind of social bond, or without full inquiry, or hurried into it by any passion. Seek not to set off your thoughts with studied elegance. Be neither a great talker nor undertaker of many things, and let the God within thee find he rules of a man of courage, an aged man, a good citizen, a Roman who regulates his life, as waiting for the signal to retreat out of it, without reluctance at his dissolution, who needs not for a bond of obedience, either the tie of an oath or the observation of others. Join also a cheerful countenance, an independence on the services of others, a mind which needs not retirement from the world, to obtain tranquility, but can maintain it without the assistance of others. One should rather appear to have always been straight and right, and not as amended or rectified.